Like the podcast, we gon' talk about it, yeah, we get it poppin'. Every Wednesday, PM Central, we are the only options. Who they touch with their topics, even if it is toxic. Like the podcast, we gon' be here, let's talk about it. We gon' talk about it. We gon' talk about it. Like the podcast, we gon' be here. Like the podcast, we gon' be here.
Yo, welcome back to another edition of the Life Be Life and podcast. Back up on the scene, nah, I mean. I'm your host, Tony D. Yeah, it sounds like you left, bro. I ain't heard nothing you said. Kick that back.
And I was only bull kidding.
And you know,
I'm your host, D to the J. Still in the building. I ain't never left. I just be playing.
What it is,
good, boy? Man, I'm chilling, man. It's another beautiful day. Now, I ain't talking about Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, man. It's just a good day out here. Man, it's hot. Smoking hot.
Yeah, big facts. Big facts. Glad I work indoors.
Man, listen. Shout out to everybody who don't, like, no kidding. I ain't even gonna cap, man. Like, I don't know how y'all is doing it. I know it gotta get done. I'm thankful that y'all holding it down because it is brutal. Man, we got a whole lot, bro. I want you to kind of do what you do, man. Let's knock out the stuff we got to knock out from disclosures. Let's get this recap. Let's tell people what's popping this week. We got football coming. Man, you look. Man, go ahead and start that thing up, man. I got this brown water, man. They call it Southern water.
Okay.
It's a nice little blend, man, of like, I think spring water, Michigano water. It's just like a nice little blend.
I look like Mississippi water. Let's get this cracking. Let's go.
The views and opinions expressed on the Life Be Life and podcast are solely those of the artists, producers, guests, and hosts of the show. Any numbers, stats, or stated resources that are given, we do ask that you verify that information for yourself.
What's up, y'all? It's Big Joe Slice from here, man. And if y'all not on Life Be Life every Wednesday, man, what is you doing? I'm going to be tapping in, so make sure y'all tap in. Let's go.
It's Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Life Be Lifing. Oh, Life Be Lifing podcast you listening to? Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Oh my God, it's 8 o'clock. The Life Be Lifing podcast is going on. And if you're not tuned in, then what are you doing?
Life Be Lifing podcast.
8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Your host, Tony to the D and D to the J. Always in the building. 9 being 516.
Anywho. All right, y'all.
Yeah.
So this week's show is marriage. Making sure I do always does.
Always does. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Making sure your I do. It does.
Yeah, it does.
Crazy.
So check it out, man. We were talking 2 weeks ago. We do apologize for last week's show. Situations, you know what I'm saying, above our control. But, you know what I'm saying, we got this. So, a couple weeks ago, we talked about being a fiance. How long is it acceptable for you to be a fiance? How long should it take for people to go ahead and get married? We gave different scenarios, so we didn't want to leave y'all hanging. So it's like, okay, y'all talked about this, about how to be, you know, how long should I be a fiance? Is it acceptable? You know, what do I think? So now that we're married, how do we keep that fire alive, man? Because if you marry for the wrong reason, that's another thing that we did cover last show,
Yeah.
is that longevity doesn't come with every reason to get married. Notice that when I gave the reasons to get married, love was last. And I did that on purpose. It was 2 reasons, because sometimes love is the last thing that people think about, because once you've been around someone for so long and your everyday routine includes them, they're now part of your life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, do you love them? Yeah, I love them, but they're so much a part of my life right now, you know. And then also, love is still the last reason people get married, because this day and age, this society, how the world is working nowadays, people marry for looks, money, you know. And we went over that last show. So make sure that you catch it. So now
Yeah.
we're talking about how to stay married, man. Keep this fire burning.
True. So I do you a favor. I'm gonna do you a favor. Okay. I'm going to build you a house
Yeah.
for you and your family. I'm gonna build you this house for you and your family to live in for the rest of y'all days.
Mhm.
Because I love you so much, I'm not even gonna charge you that much, right? Will you accept the house that I'm gonna build you? Now, here's the catch. I'm only 18 years old. I've never built a house before. Will you let me build you a house for you and your family to live in forever? Will you trust me with that responsibility?
Right now?
Yeah. I'm 18 years old. I've never built a house before. You established husband, wife, kids, need a place to live. I'm offering you. I'm about to build you this house. Dirt. When I say dirt cheap, I'm talking about my boy. You ain't got to worry about hitting the bank for this one. Can I build you this crib? Yes or no?
Nah, I'm straight.
So you playing me to the left because I don't have the experience to build a house, or
Well,
you just don't like gifts?
well, I can't necessarily. I'm playing you to the left because of your experience, because you could very well be experienced, but also experience is the best teacher. So being kind of logistical, okay, if you 18, you trying to build me a house, and you could probably do it, but how long would it last?
Bet. Stop. So in the United States, for the most part, states some vary, but for the most part, you're considered an adult as of what age? 18.
18, yeah.
That means technically at 18 years of age, you can get married. And I presented that scenario because at 18, 19, even 20, 21, how many serious relationships can you say that you've been in to now be or feel confident that you can go into a new, and this is about to be your forever joint? You feel me? You've never done a relationship before, or if you had one, two, threesy at best, we know none of them was long term because you were only 18 to 23, 24.
Right.
And what age do we say that the human brain, from a statistical standpoint, matures at 25?
Right.
So I'm saying all this to preface something. This is really for the adults that have those children that are of legal age. They starting to date. It's getting serious. Listen, the natural progression of things is to automatically say, let's one up it. And so if we already having sex, if we already living together, we already splitting bills, we go to Popeyes together. You feel me? I'll let you get the last bite off the McDouble. You heard me?
Sweet
So
cheeks.
that means the next thing left, you feel like, oh, let's get married, and nobody's speaking to it, but there's no experience. And from the same scenario where you wouldn't let anybody that has never built a home, but because they have the best intentions of building this home and they have the best intentions, it'll last. They've never done or shown anything that would validate why you would let them do this.
Right.
Or at least let me put you through some training for you to learn
Build me a
while
shed.
I'm learning.
Let me get
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
shed first, and then we'll
Hey,
go. From
hey, you got home buyers programs, right? They put you through credit joints a lot of times in preparation.
yeah.
All right. So that's all I'm saying. So we do understand though, man, that love is a beautiful thing, but I really wanted to kind of prove that point. But we're married. We're married now. But I want people to just think about that. When you go to get married and you're that young, like bro, let me ask you this question, real rap. Go back to the age of, let's say, 18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
How many serious relationships can you say that you were in, that you should have been in, that you should have been in?
One. I would
Okay,
say one. One in the possible.
got you. And the other portion of that is because a lot of times we went into that serious relationship so young, but we didn't know how to build that house. The house collapsed. However, this is why statistically the second marriage is always stronger and usually will last until God calls both of them home.
Mm.
And the reason for it is, and you can feel free to drop some personal.
Yeah.
Um, did you not apply anything that you had done wrong, anything that you felt needed to be fixed on either or end from the first marriage now into the second? It's a life lesson, right?
Everything.
Everything.
Everything. Let me get everything.
Everything. Exactly.
This boy.
Because it was an experience teacher.
Oh yes.
You learned. Now you built that first house and it failed. You know what I'm saying? So what are some top ways, bro? They married. It don't matter how young, how old, if it was right, wrong, they there. We want to talk about some things to make this I do keep doing. So, in your estimation, man, what would you say are some top things that can strengthen a marriage?
Hey, number one, first off and foremost, never take feedback as being critical critiques. Because here's the thing.
That's bars.
So what?
I said that's bars, bro.
Yeah, because here's the thing, man. Me and her have been married probably about 6 years.
Okay.
And I noticed, and so did she. We noticed that because it's like when you dating and you messing around, you know what I'm saying, and you just hunching, it's just like, okay, it is what it is. She get mad, I'm gonna go hop on the game, and
Yeah,
there was
right.
other bumpers in the house.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
we didn't buy our first house, we off on our own, it's just us and our kids. And we had to get to a point, man, to where it's like, okay, you know what? Let's back up. Because in a marriage, we're in it's like a business. You are my business partner.
Mm-hmm.
And as business partners, you not gonna always have the ideas that I'm gonna like, and likewise. I'm not gonna always do everything that you like, and likewise.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: because we're business partners and we got married to succeed in this business called life, we got to learn how to control, our emotions when it's critique. And it wasn't nothing like, you too short, your hair falling out, your feet too big. It wasn't nothing like that.
Yeah.
It was simple stuff. And for some reason, people feel like that piece of paper changes your relationship. It doesn't. Your relationship should have changed into the piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? Somebody go catch that.
Yeah, that's bars.
You had to feel comfortable enough with this person to be like, yo,
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you my everything, and I'm gonna give you the world. If not, I'm gonna die trying type. You know what I'm saying? Type deal.
yeah.
And when we don't aim to get up the next day to make your mate smile, laugh. You ought to be able to be goofy around your mate, tell jokes, just sit around and laugh. People tell us all the time, like, y'all been married 18 years and y'all act like y'all still dating. Like,
Yeah,
because
'cause you do.
yeah, we are. Like,
Yeah, you better.
yeah, I'm learning stuff about her still. She's learning stuff about me still headed to year 19. But there was a time, and I'm gonna keep it a buck before I slide
Mhm.
it over to my bro. Um, I was an avid gamer, dude. Like, I'm on the game, I'm online, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing my thing. At the old house, you know, it was not uncommon because at that time I was working at the pasta house still. I had to be at work to 10. So if I'm in bed 3, you know what I'm saying? I'm straight.
Yeah.
Um, when the house got broken into and all of our TVs and game systems and all this stuff got taken, um, we survived for a minute just off of one TV. Based on that one TV, we started watching Netflix and things like that because it was time that I really wasn't giving her. And yeah, I'm gonna be honest, it was time I really wasn't giving her. And from that point forward, we decided, like, yo, at least once a week, if not twice or more, hey, I'm gonna give you your space to go hop on the game. Do you?
Got it.
But make sure that you're making some type of time for me to
Yeah.
where we're just chilling, watching TV, playing cards, so just playing games amongst ourselves. And I think that that was the most important thing that ever happened, man, is understanding that your business partner is not out to see you fail. Because if I'm giving you a critique, if you fail, I fail because the marriage
Yeah.
fails.
Yeah.
So y'all never forget that, man. Never ever understand that y'all got to be friends, man, to the end. Yes, lovers is a gimme, but y'all got to be friends because if y'all don't have no common ground to have
Mhm.
simple conversation, whether it's politics or something y'all saw on TV intellectually, you know, I don't know, bro. I mean, what you think?
So for me, man, like the ways to strengthen a marriage is I feel like one, man, you need to know each other love language. You know what I'm saying? We talk about that a lot. Like, um, I take notice, man, like a lot of times we might be out and about. You look over and see a couple that you know is clearly married. You seeing the rings on their joints and everything, and it's like they not even interacting. There's yeah, exactly. Everybody head in the phone. Um, I think if I remember right, all four of us was out, celebrating, and we look back at this couple clearly married, and we like, yo, they hate each other, so like they don't talk at all. You
Was
know
that
what I'm saying?
that was
Oh,
your anniversary, wasn't it?
true. Yup, that's exactly what it was.
Yep.
And we look back and we
Right. Yeah.
like they don't even like each other. So know each other's love language, man. Communication, honesty, dependability, the ability to compromise, respect, um, valuing each other, man, as well as the relationship is vital. And I say that, man, because I think the reality, I know it's a lot of people that love their partner. It's a lot of men that love their girlfriend, their baby mama, their wife, whatever, and vice versa. It's a lot of women that love their husband, boyfriend, baby daddy. Um, but I question a lot of times, like, you love them, but do you understand the value that you need to have towards them? There should be a level of value for your relationship as well as each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that to me is like really, really, really key. And then I think outside of that, man, there needs to be lots and lots of that macaroni sound.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Um, and it varies for everybody. But again, what's your love language? What's your communication like? What's your level of appreciation? You know what I'm saying? And get the whip in the brick. It's like you got to whip it.
Hey, you hear me? Sometimes you gotta two hand that.
Looking like Nick Cannon on Drumline when he was
Hey, you hear me?
trying not to be a P4. What you talking about?
So one thing that I want to bring up, man, and we talked about some of this on the last show, is that a lot of weddings take place in a church.
All right.
And if they don't take place in a church, it could be a hall or something like that. But there is more than likely, I would say, and I'll lowball it, man. I'll say maybe 90% of the time,
All
there's
right.
a pastor officiating. Now, some people do go to the courthouse and do their thing, but a lot of times there's a pastor officiating that wedding.
Hey, one of the best weddings I ever attended, bro. Look, they got married at the courthouse and they had a bust down reunion at Red Lobster. And my boy, when I tell you, hey, cheddar biscuits is getting thrown, you know what I'm saying? People is twerking over the shrimp scampi. It's wild. It's wild. And guess what, bro? We was here for it.
Yeah. So I feel like that in some areas, because if the church was equipped to marry me, when those shaky foundation situations starts to happen, the church needs to be there to help assist the way.
Okay.
I find it funny that anytime that a man and a woman, about to get divorced and they're, oh, God don't like, what I'm saying, divorce. But when we were going through, no elders, no pastors, no mothers was there just to talk us through this thing. It's always let's pray, pray on it. Let's pray on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that prayer does work, but faith without works, you got to move your feet. Is dead.
Yeah.
So I really wish, and before I make this next statement, I'm not saying that churches don't, but you don't hear about it it's a new marriage class, a new member class or something like that. Once they complete that, it's kind of like that training is done. Then somebody calling pastor 2 o'clock in the morning, he ain't home yet, she ain't home yet, what I'm gonna do? So the church has to also be prepared to have those people in place that's gonna assist, because I really feel like
The inner staff.
yeah, because I feel like you went before God to start the marriage.
Yeah.
Why did you not go back before God?
Before it ended.
Hello? I mean, it don't make sense to me.
Yeah. Hey, so that's a good point, bro. I want to hit you with this while you kind of in that lane. So, important versus not important. So, little game, man. We're gonna call it greater than or less than. I'm gonna ask you something. I want you to tell me how important it is, or which one would even be greater, just along that avenue. So, is it more important for married couples, let's stick there. Let's say that newly married couples, is it more impactful for them to have other married couples as friends, or marital counselor or counseling?
They need them friends.
Okay.
Because so if I'm a newly married brother and there's another newly married brother, chances are, not saying that everything is going to be the same, but chances are we got the newlywed vibes going on. Same thing with the women. And when you see that sometimes that being a newlywed, there is a push, to get over that hill, that it happens. It's not like, oh my God, we've been married 6 months, and I feel like since we got married, I ain't as attractive anymore. No. Oh man, that happened to you too? Okay, it's not just me. So therefore, now, number one, you create a brother for checks and balances. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, I appreciate the conversation. Let's get together, let's hang out, let the wives meet. So therefore, now if I'm having issues and I know that you're not gonna look down upon me because you've had them too, and you've been able to help talk me through them, yeah, I want somebody because I feel like by the time you get to counseling, that could be one of the last straws. But
Okay.
that's me.
Okay. Um, so I kind of went back and forth with it a little bit. Um, I definitely can see the value in having a marital counselor or counseling.
Yeah.
And again, I'm talking about from day one. You know what I'm saying? Like the moment you say I do, after everything's consummated and you back to the world, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Somebody's popping in, checking like, yo, like I ain't talking about when things get bad. I'm talking about from Jump
Yeah.
Street, just a mentor, marital mentor, bro. I like that even better.
Yeah.
So I really
Eminem.
see, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Somebody else like, I like, man, whatever, man. Hey, so I see the value in that. But then I thought about the married couples as your friends. And I said, so which one would be more impactful? And I really think it would be the friends as well, because that whole iron sharpening iron. Um, I know myself, man, I learned totally different. So I can learn my life lessons even by seeing somebody else, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
Uh, Maybe seeing some things that was said, and you like, yo, and in your mind you like, you were like, ooh, um,
Yeah.
he tried to say it as a joke. That joke didn't go over at all.
Yeah.
Lesson learned. Take a mental notes.
Yeah.
Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't
Yeah.
be like that.
Put it on. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, uh, I think, man, that whole the whole married friends, man, is gonna be better. Um, Financially being able to be spoiled or spoiling your spouse versus modest but personal and thoughtful things. What's more value to you in the marriage? And spit life on why.
Yeah, man. So just because something is big and extravagant doesn't mean that it's right for you.
True. Talk
Because
about that last week.
yeah, because the flesh and the eyes, they see twinkles and all that stuff too. But buying me something that's personal means that you're not on autopilot with our relationship. You're learning me.
Yeah.
You're either you heard me say and you went out and did it, or you did it on the humbug because like, yo, if you know what I'm into, whether it's Philly or still games and whatever. If you even come home with a pack of batteries, like, hey babe, I was out and I don't know the last time I bought batteries for this, so I went on and snatched some batteries. I'm gonna be happy.
Mhm.
Oh, babe, right on. You know what I'm saying? Because that shows that you thought about me. You didn't just say, all right, man, what's the most expensive thing I can give her? Uh, just to get her oohs and ahs so she can show everybody and leave me alone.
Exactly.
So yeah, definitely putting that thought into there, man. It means a lot more thi- because there we go. So sometimes in a marriage, um, finances may not be where you want them to be. Sometimes they may not be where you need them to be.
True.
So some of them oohs and ah things are out of grasp, and you should not torture yourself as a husband or a wife if some of those oohs and ahs things are out of grasp.
Yeah.
Do the modest thing. Don't go broke. You know, uh, getting your lights cut off, no internet. Hey, babe, you know what? XYZ. So I'm gonna do this, and then maybe I'll cook what you want for dinner.
But see,
It,
that's the communication.
yeah,
That goes back to being honest, having communication,
yeah,
being open and upfront. And so when that happens, now you're not caught in a situation where you feel like, yo, I got a front. I got to do something that I don't have the financial means to do. I got to do something that really is out of my character
yeah,
just to try to wow her, to continue to show her, when the reality is, and like I get it. You definitely, you want to every day is to be celebrated, and
Yeah.
even on those particular days, you want to do something additional. But if you're doing everything along the way, that guilt isn't there. And so now I can say, what is it that I feel she really wants? What would make her happy? What did I hear her say she
Yeah.
wants to do? Blase Skippe. Um,
Let me throw this in there before you ask the next question.
yep,
So waiting tables there at the pasta house, man. Valentine's Day was always a huge day.
jumping.
And I will work from open to close because I know I'm because somebody finna be out stunting fronting, which means
Yeah,
normally when they would have tipped $2 on $100 bill, I may get 10 today. So, I'm about to gather the wheats and tares and twos and
yeah,
threes today.
yeah.
So one Valentine's Day, man, I worked all day. I made probably about $200 cash. I get off work. It was Valentine's Day. I stopped at Walgreens. It's about 10:30. Man, I just stopped at
I
Walgreens.
already know. I already know. But go ahead.
And I done
Where
bought
you going?
bears and balloons and cards, and so I spent probably over $100. So number one, I've been gone all day.
Yeah,
I'm tired, but because I will buy my kids, my girls, I will buy them stuff too because it's like I want to prepare them for when guys start giving them gifts. Oh, my daddy used to give
true.
me
You
that.
gotta be that example. And with
Yeah.
all them kids and with all them girls you got, I know that was costly. So I see what you're saying. You working all day. I get it. Go ahead with your story though. Working all day, take care of all the gifts for all your kids. You got it. Go.
So what really pissed me off was after I had spent all that money, we had to double back to Walgreens the next morning. I don't know if it was a prescription or something, and
Mhm.
everything is 50% off. So
Yep, don't say it.
you trying to tell me
Don't say it.
this $20-$30 box of candy that I just bought 6 hours ago
Yeah.
is now 50% off? This big old bear that you charged me $50 for is now, you know, 30.
Worth the wait, honey. True.
What? So that night I had a conversation the next day I had a conversation with the wife. I was like, yo, babes, I'm like, we do for each other year round. We do for each other all the time. We do thoughtful things. I I no longer see the value of trying to impress others on this day when we are impressing each other year round.
Hmm.
And from that day forward, we still may do something, make still bring home a card or maybe, go. We never go out to eat. Never do that on Valentine's Day. That's another story, but
Yep.
never. Mother's Day, do not go out to eat. But we decided together, like, yeah, she was like, you know what? That money could have been put to better use. I'm like, indeed. And just the fact that even if I would have spent the same money, we could have got double, So it's like, yo, we go cook us something nice to eat. You know what I'm saying? Some years it's her. Hey, I'm gonna cook this for Valentine's Day. Bet some years it's me. Hey, baby, we finna have just us a meal where we actually bring out the silverware and the real plates. We eat real good on Valentine's Day. But
Hmm.
but also it had to take a conversation of like minds because she could have been like, what are you talking about? You the man, you supposed to give me flowers and this and that and the other on Valentine's
It's
Day.
about me. Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that alone made me see the real value in my wife because now I saw that she was not impressed by material things. And I really think that that's what made us go, saying so much further in our relationship.
Yeah, I can vibe with that. Um, Really, it's a lot of respect that it seems like it's shown. And that was really the next question I was going to ask you is, you know, we always know in any relationship, I don't care really what it is, respect is supposed to be a given. You know,
Yeah.
you go to date a young lady and her daddy ain't got to tell you, her people ain't got to tell you, "Yo, respect my child." You already, it's supposed to happen. Everybody knows respect is a given, but we also know it's always not shown, right? Like whether it's on social media, you seeing, you know what I'm saying? I just seen one the other day, young lady. I mean, she hit my man with a mean one. You know what I'm saying?
Is that the one who came from Louisiana
Man,
outside?
man, she cocked that thing back so tough and caught him, man. It was
And it was slow too.
this was like that. This looked like Clarissa Shields. Like it was like that. And it wasn't funny on the stream because it's like, yo, like domestic violence is just wrong all across the board.
Big facts.
You know what I'm
That's
saying? But it's just like, you know, where was the respect? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing to beef. You know what I'm saying? No relationship is gonna be perfect.
right.
You're gonna have your, you know what I'm saying, your ups and downs. There's gonna be some things that no matter how much you want to try to shield it, you might be in public when the ruckus kick off. So you just like, you know, you know what I'm saying? Something gonna be said, you know what I'm saying, to where people around you know, like it's about to get wicked, but you try to keep it together. You know what I'm saying? Like you try to
Hey,
keep it together.
hey, man, it's a quiet dinner.
You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Ain't that much going on Facebook at that time, but everybody quiet is scrolling, so you know when this thing got mad uncomfortable. I get it, but we know respect is a given. How much value, bro? I mean, rock my man, like you ever seen somebody get hit so hard you cuss for them? You, you like, yes.
Jesus.
Yeah, man, it was like that, man, and I was just like, where's the respect for
So
his manhood, for y'all relationship, for
yeah,
y'all? How much is respect a part of your marital success, your love language? What does respect mean to your love language?
man, respect is top tier because here's the thing: we are one.
All right.
So whatever I do to you, I've pretty much done to myself because
I don't like that bar, son. I don't know about that, man.
I'm talking about respect. Now hold
Oh, okay.
on.
Oh,
Hey, yeah,
okay.
see, here you
Okay.
go. You going back to the yeah. Anywho, so if we are one, if I disrespect you, I've disrespected myself. I've disrespected our marriage.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And I really feel that it's a shame nowadays because there's a lot of young women putting their hands on men now.
Yeah.
A lot. You
Yeah.
like, whoa, like these young girls is putting their hands on dudes like that, like straight hands,
Yeah.
pots, pans, and hands, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And
And
it's being glorified.
yeah, it's been very glorified and they
Yeah.
still got together.
Yeah.
And likewise, you know what I'm saying? Dudes, men, keep your hand off these women, dude. If you got a fighter, might as well leave
Man.
because somebody freedom or somebody life gonna end up being messed up behind it.
They caught
But
up, bro. Brody got that Spider-Man.
yeah, so with respect, man, we have to always put ourselves in our mate's shoes or try to, because my wife got, I
But
love
see,
you, baby.
sometimes that's the problem too.
Well, when I say put ourselves in their shoes, how would I feel if this person said this to me?
True
How
that.
would I feel if this person did this to me? So we got to reciprocate that and think about that first. So I'm gonna drop this little nugget real quick, man.
All
So
right.
in the Bible, it tells the men uh to love your wives as Christ loves the church, right?
But
It never said that to the women. Never. It just honored our husband. It never told the women to love your husband as.
honor.
One of the things that I got out of that is that because women are cultivators, whatever we give them, they cultivate and give back. majority of the time.
Okay.
For instance, you give them a seed, they give you a child. You know what I'm saying? They cultivate it, they give that child back. Sometimes in more ways than one.
Sometimes it don't even be yours.
Yeah, mama baby, papa maybe.
Hey man,
But
we talking about that, man, because they out here raising kids, yo, and they ain't even being theirs, but neither here
yeah,
nor there.
and so now if you're giving that woman hell,
Mhm.
she's gonna cultivate that hell. Why you think Al Green got hot grits thrown on him? She cultivated that
Absolutely.
hell
Absolute.
and gave it back. Now, there are some women and men that have been through so many hellacious relationships, all they know is being toxic.
Mm.
They don't know what true love is. They find someone who loves them and loves them for who they are and what they have, and they don't like, oh, he's soft. I don't want him. So if you don't respect your mate, man, you don't
Mhm.
respect yourself because they are a reflection of you. So what's your take, man?
So for me, man, I feel like I equate respect with love in the sense like identical twins. When you think about identical twins, man, like they DNA is so exact that they said if they were to have kids, right? They DNA was shared so tough that the kids are not only legally and scientifically as cousins, but also as siblings. So I say that to say, even though these two things are separate, respect
Yeah,
and love, to me, the DNA of them runs so thorough and so true that it's really one and the same to me because if you love me, you'll respect me, right?
should.
You should. And you can't say you respect me if you don't love me. And you can't love me if you don't respect me. So for me, they're one and the same. You know what I'm saying? It's literally it's an identical twin for me. Um, that's how I look at it. There's a lot of things, and for me, that's that's my love language. It's respect. You know what I'm saying? It's value
Yeah.
and things that I see. Like I know the narrative, man. A lot of people want to pit men against women, and we talked about that in I want to say it was either the end of last season or either the jump off of season 4,
Yep.
but we talked about how society and nature is really trying to pit like us against each other, but really all it is the fact that it's not common that men and women are beefing.
Right.
It's just being highlighted in the same manner that you see on the news. It's a rarity. We're just
Yeah.
seeing it common because in the scheme of things, in the scheme of every relationship, in the scheme of how men and women vibe and rock out, it's it's not common to have this smoke. And that's why these shows, like you said, the balloon popping game, that's why these things are becoming so hilarious and so eye-catching because that sequence, that scenario, that interaction of man and woman is not natural. And so
Right.
when we see anything that's contrary to the normal, that's that attention grabber, right? So
Yeah.
um respect is my love language, bro. Um there's no way you gonna tell me that you love me. I don't care what we talking about, friendship, relationship, marriage, acquaintance, business partner, you name it. If you love me, you gonna respect me.
Yeah.
You feel me? And if you respect me, you love me. It's one and the same. So for me, that's that love language, man.
That reminds me on that song with Kendrick. He was like money, power, respect. The last one is better.
Facts,
Yes, it's the last one.
facts,
You know what I'm saying? Because if you
facts.
respect me, there's certain things that you're not going to do to me. There's
Out of
certain things that
respect.
you're not going to say to me, or because you respect me, you are going to find a better way.
Better way to do it. I'm not gonna violate you like that. I would never say nothing. I would never say nothing that's gonna disrespect whatever that fabric of our relationship is.
Yeah,
Um, whether, like I said, whether it's a spouse, it's a work relationship, it's a business, family, whatever. You're not gonna violate that fabric of that relationship because that respect is there and that love is there.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you'll find yourself fading to black and just like, oh, let me back all the way up.
Yep.
And a lot of people will perceive that as you know, oh, they don't want to fool me. No. That's that respect I got for you. Because we getting ready to cross into some waters that
Yeah.
yo, you know what I'm saying? If something doesn't change, I don't know what's gonna happen. So
We'll be
yeah,
straight.
man. Bro, I want to ask you something, man, that I think the viewers want to hear, and it's a blessing because we are in multiple countries. We still rocking in over 20 countries. Shout out to RSS. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna do it, bro. I'm gonna hit this real quick. Tell them where they can find us, how they can find us, do all that, because I feel like we jamming so tough, we gonna mess around and be done forgot.
Yeah, because
Let them know how to find. Let them know where we be. Let
so
them know, yeah, bro.
if y'all look down there on the bottom of the screen,
Yup.
got our little ticker going.
Okay.
Has our email address,
Mm-hmm.
our Instagram page,
Yup.
Facebook page.
Yup.
Brody just actually created a brand new website for us, and we're gonna add it.
Yeah. Lifebelifeinpodcast.com. It's
So
just that simple.
there we go. So man, we everywhere right now. We're gonna keep growing organically. We got
Yeah.
people and we got people in our inbox. Hey, we want to help you do this. No, we don't want that type of help. We want to grow organically,
The right
and
way.
control our own content because unfortunately, people,
Bro said no BBL business, bro. We're gonna
yeah,
do this
oh,
naturally.
yeah.
Yeah.
So with our email address, man, you can always hit us up for show ideas, comments, whatever the case may be. Don't forget the merch. Huge shout out to Roy King Jackson, man, with the merch. Keep it coming. But man, this has been a great show, man. It's just been really. Did you notice that we didn't play no music, no commercials, no nothing tonight, man? We just got at it.
Yeah, I was kind of checking the emails and the inboxes, just trying to see how people was feeling. And you know, they rocking with it. You know, they with us. They with us.
So on that note, man, we're gonna turn this page just so we can talk about football on our way out the door.
Fact.
I'm gonna let me hop up on my little soapbox here real quick. I feel like I'm one of those barber chairs when I was young.
So I want you to throw this on the soapbox, man. I want you to drop some gems on them like this, right? With almost 20 years of marriage under your belt, bro, I want you to tell the world, all the lifers that rock with us, everybody that's gonna see this after the fact archive. I want you to speak to them, man, and I want you to talk to them as if this was day one of your marriage. What you really wish somebody would have told you, whether it was wisdom, knowledge, direction, spit gems and drop bars, man. I want you to speak into yourself, man, what you wish you knew.
So becoming married, you know what I'm saying, newlyweds, there's a lot of energy and anxiety going on. Can't wait to do this, can't wait to go on the first trip, can't wait to do that. Slow and steady is the race. We have to have patience with one another. Because here's the thing, based on how you were engaged, whether you were living together, not living together, the script kind of changes a little bit because now you should be together till death do us part.
Facts.
After all, where the God says it's better not to make a vow, you know what I'm saying, than to make a vow and not keep it. So patience, because we go through that time of trying to learn each other, their likes, their dislikes, you know, my likes, my dislikes, whatever the case may be. It could be dress attire, it could be bedroom antics.
Mhm.
You got to be patient, be slow to take offense, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Because both of y'all are kind of on this log in the water on the river, kind of, you know, you don't talk about how you spinning your feet with the log.
Yeah,
Hey,
if we ain't in river, I'm going one way. If I'm going forward and you started to backpedal, vice versa, we both going in the water.
Yeah, so
Right.
patience, man, and understanding. There's two things that later on in marriage and that you come to understand. Just as much as you are an individual, meaning your personal likes, your personal dislikes, is just as much as you are a couple.
Okay.
Because when you come together, you got your own problems. This person may have their own problems. Y'all get together and create problems and go through problems together.
Yeah.
But understanding that how you react and act as an individual does affect your marriage mentally, physically. It can even
Yeah.
be financially, depending on if you just, I'm the man of the house, or a woman, I make more money. I can just go do what I want to do. Lastly, arguments are going to happen. And I'm so glad to say at this moment that regardless of what has happened between me and my wife, ain't nobody put hands on each other because it ain't even get that deep. And regardless of what the argument was, no one has spent the night outside of the house due to an argument.
Yeah. That's bars.
I'm going to go after this
Yeah.
because I truly believe the enemy is always out there looking to devour. You walk out this house in a different mindset, angry, upset, disrespected, saddened, disencouraged. Whether you're just going to the gas station or the grocery store, I'm finna hit the bowling alley to clear my head. Or I'm gonna hit the bar, have a couple of drinks and throw some darts. Something's waiting. Something's waiting to take what you have built. So y'all, in these arguments, find you a safe place and a
Yeah.
safe space within your home. Do not leave that house angry.
Mm.
Hey, I'm out this joint.
Bars. I like that, man. Hey, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I like Shorty to beat me, man. Or I ain't gonna front. You know, he did the episode, you know what I'm saying, is the bedroom defiled as we getting wild. And you asked me a question, you said, what do you consider wild? And I said, mm, elbows, elbows, monkey toes, and afros. Hey, anywho, if I had to speak to myself, bro, or better yet, if it's day one of a marriage, what would I want somebody to spit life into me? And I would really want somebody to have a conversation. Like, I feel like this is the conversation that needs to go forward with everyone. And we need to ask them if what you feel right now were to change, would you continue 100% in spite of, or is you going to fold? Because we know experience has taught us there's something that's going to come about to where you're going to be like, oh, this mother get on my nerves. It's going to be something. And that feeling ain't going to last long, but we know feelings come and go. You feel me? I'm gonna keep it all the way through. While like I felt like going to the gym today when I got up to go to work. Guess what happened by the time I got off work?
I didn't
Feeling
feel like
sucked.
doing.
Yeah, you heard me. Well, feelings change, right? Feelings change. Like the old commercial, I feel like chicken tonight. Feelings change, man. So if your feelings were to change, would you still be in it? Or would you like, I would I would want somebody to ask me, yo, like, if your sexual desires or her sexual desires change or no longer could be met, would you be okay or would you fold? If you're discouraged from your passion, then what? Are you gonna stay or you gonna fold? Um, and I feel like, man, if you can't say a absolute to all of that, I'm staying, then you might want to reconsider what it is, you know what I'm saying, that I'm doing or that you're doing. Um, I would want somebody to really spit bars and be like, yo, there's gonna be a compromise. A compromise is a must. However, compromising for the sake of each other is never to be put at a constant uh, lessening of who you are personally, right? I would want somebody to tell me, hey, you need to seek ways on how to be a leader, a good leader, whether that's reading books, bro, whether that's that marital group of friends from day one, marital counseling or marital mentor. We call them M&M. Some like Skittles. Something has to be around there. You got to learn how to lead. You got to learn how to manage your time, your family time, your y'all time, your time, your friends time. You have to learn as men. I'm speaking to the men right now. You feel me? Now, women, y'all got to be along the same lines. Because guess what? Your homegirls can't always be in the midst. Sometimes you gotta say, no, you know what I'm saying, Stacy, Keisha, Brianna, Trina, Tina, all your friends tell them you stand at the cut. Yo, I ain't seen my dude in 2 days. We going out. Fellas, you know what I'm saying? No, we not hooping today. I'm with my lady. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hooping, but somebody playing ball. Anywho, you just have to learn to manage your time, bro. I feel like there's a lot of things that we take for granted and we just no longer say because we out. And man, it ain't. I'm just gonna be straight up, man. You dead wrong if you know good and well that there's a pothole in this road because you hit it and you stay hitting it, and you see other people coming down the road and you don't give them a warning. You, your family, your friends, people that you know has got to do the same journey that you want, and you not gonna warn them. And that's not saying things like, yo, marriage is this. That ain't tearing down marriage. That's just saying be real. When we was in season 1, bro, we did an episode that was based upon church hurt. That guest speaker was so prolific, and one of the things he said that always stand out, he said that the church did not prepare him for real life. You like, what do you mean for that? So they talk in the Bible. They taught my man's, you know what I'm saying, that God is your all in all, that you turn to him in time of weakness, strength, you know what I'm saying, when good and bad, you give him your all in all, don't let the rocks cry out, all of these things. But what happens when life or your partner does not follow the same laws of the Bible that we teach him? Now what you finna do? And my man's didn't have no answer to that, and life rocked. You know what I'm saying? Figure 4 leg lock, he tapped. You hear me? Belt on the line, money lost, in front of the world, pay-per-view, you know what I'm saying? The belt went back to NWO. Great job. But we don't prepare people for life. And when I went through my various situations, it was so much that people spoke of after the fact. And I remember thinking to myself, like, God dang, like, why y'all ain't say nothing beforehand? Why you ain't tell me it was the dog loose around the corner? You just walked up the street. You
Out of breath.
You heard me. You still out of breath. You see me coming, you don't say nothing. You dead wrong for that. So
Indeed.
My message to the world, man, is again, you want this thing to keep lasting. You want to make sure that your I do always does. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't saying we perfect. I see people dragging Steve through the mud. How did he become a spokesperson for this and that? He done been through this and that. Man, listen, life experiences is something else. And if you that foolish to think that can't nobody teach you nothing because they don't have what you have, you silly in the head. So you telling me, oh, you gonna look at somebody that's homeless and they can't teach you nothing about finances because you like, but you homeless. But what your silly self don't comprehend is maybe homeboy's kicking you that info because the fact he's homeless and he fumbled his finances. He's trying to help you from hitting that same pothole, but you ain't here. So put people around you, circle yourself to do the all right thing. You know what I'm saying? Have that love language, that communication, honesty. Tell them the desires of your heart. You know what I'm saying? If you need them cheeks, you got a clap. You want to hear that macaroni sound every other night. Y'all should have been said that. Y'all should have been talked about that. Keep that conversation up and popping and get it going. So that's my soapbox. I'm D to the J. Y'all know what it is. It's like that. Brody, we need to take us out. So with that, it's another beautiful episode, and I think we're going to go ahead and tap. Peace. And your host, D to the J, Tony D, signing off. Check us next week. We got something very special for y'all. We're going to continue a little something. Y'all know how we do it. Life Be Life and Podcast, everywhere you want to be.